So this is like the cat and mouse of playoff basketball. So the Cavs get into this Miami action, which is like a series of DHOs here. And we've got Tatum on Mobley all series, so he can switch him onto ball handlers whenever we want. The downside is the guard has to switch on Mobley, but Pritchard, good physicality, and Luke, again, he's just so aware. He understands the game of basketball. He sees, oh no, my mini-me, he's on Mobley. I better get over there and help. And they execute it perfectly. It's so smooth. It's like Mobley doesn't even realize Pritchard left him, and he turns around and is like, oh no, who's this monster guarding me?
Celtics Cavs game one. Let's get crazy here and start with some underrated Luke Kornet. As the Celtics get into this action, Peyton Pritchard ghosts out of this screen and flares out to the wing. Jalen realizes instantly he hasn't got that Darius Garland switch, so he kicks it out to Pritchard, who also sees no attacking opportunity. Swing to Jrue, who just makes something happen here. Now, Donovan Mitchell is kind of forcing Jrue towards the baseline because he knows that Mobley is there to help. So look at this fancy cut that Kornet makes away from the hoop, and then suddenly the defense is like, what the fuck? Everyone's looking at Luke, and he makes a simple pass out to a Jalen 3.
Yeah, the Celtics did a really good job of this all series, and that's get Darius Garland into the action. Like, Pritchard actually sets quite a bit of screens because he pops for shooting, which he does here. The Cavs do a really good job hedging and recover. They did a great job of it all series, but just swing the ball around and then drive when you get an advantage. Jrue does a good job of that. It's a great flash to the paint by Luke Kornet, but Derek White also has a nice little like dip into the corner to give Jrue Holiday a passing option as well for an open three. But regardless, he hits Luke Kornet, and it's a big time three by Jaylen Brown. Like, that is well contested, does not matter.
Yeah, I love when the guy who initiates the play ends up being the one to finish the play. So Jalen's the one initiating. He finds Pritchard on that swing pass, and then just a decisive drive by Jrue. No dancing, and then Kornet shows off his best NBA skill outside of being 7'2", is his quick decision making. Finds Jaylen Brown for a deep three when the game's still in balance for game one of this series.
Sticking with game one, Peyton Pritchard, whose ball handling was essential in this series. He averaged like 24 minutes per game, probing, finds nothing. Tatum sets a classic clumsy Tatum screen for him, can't find the entry pass, so reset to Jrue. Look how quickly they get into the secondary action here though. Luke Kornet, man, like just your basic, dare I say, underrated screen and roll. Great pass from Jrue, defense collapses, and Luke has proven time and time again that he's capable of making that pass to the cutter. This time it's Jason Tatum for the dunk.
I absolutely love Garland's trying to extend full court pressure on Peyton Pritchard. That is one dude you should not bother doing that on. He used to dribble until his hands bleed. So Pritchard does a really good job. Get it over the timeline fast, get into an action early. It kind of flows into that janky pick and roll with Tatum, into another Luke Jrue Holiday pick and roll. Jrue, great pass to Luke in the short roll, where, as Jake said it, he can use his quick decision making and his good ability to read plays, and hits Tatum on a cut, a Tatum cut. Yeah. It's a unicorn.
Yes, please note Peyton Pritchard getting the ball across half court with 20 seconds on the shot clock, because the C's run that action with Tatum. Tatum gets fouled twice by Marcus Morris, but that doesn't really go anywhere. They swing that ball to Jrue, and because they started that action early, there's plenty of time for them to run this action comfortably and not rush it. Kornet's just so sound in the short roll, man. Yeah, great cut from Tatum. We love getting easy points for Tatum.
Jumping forward to game 3 in Cleveland, and a look at the Celtics defensively as they went on that massive run to open the third quarter.
I love us extending just a little bit of high pressure, get Mitchell to slow it down. He has to give the ball up early, which is what we want. We want the ball out of Donovan Mitchell's hands. Derek does a really good job of cutting off Garland, but then they kind of flow into a DHO. But Al, perfect positioning as the drop guy. He cuts off Garland, and then he gets over to Okoro as well. So Okoro's got to back it out. He resets. Tatum's there. This is excellent. He's been on Mobley this entire series, so he's got a huge rim protection burden, and he's risen to the challenge entire series. There's a great straight up and down contest, and then Celtics basketball the other way. Everybody running, wide open three in the corner for Al.
Yeah, this is what it looks like when the Celtics are locked in defensively. It just happens to coincide with the Celtics being up 20 points right here, not an accident. D. White shuts off Garland. Jrue does a really good job denying Mitchell. And the Cavs end up with Isaac Okoro on the short roll. That's who you want with the ball in your hands, and weak side rim protector Jason Tatum at the rim. Great scheme, great execution. Push, swing. The big dog was just saving those makes for the closeout game. Tatum with a vintage controlled tip, and then back to the point forward Tatum for the beautiful skip to Jrue in the corner.
This is perhaps not really underrated, but we couldn't recap this series and not talk about Jrue Holiday's offensive rebound. Like, look at the way he just elevates above Evan Mobley, and like, you're not just going to outleap Mobley. So it's all about the timing of this jump, and then the no-look pass to Sam Hauser, who just does not miss when he's that wide open. That's just backbreaking for the Cavs.
Yeah, it's like just a little 5-out DHO action. Derek White gets downhill, and Jrue just like, get to the rim, get your nose dirty, see what happens. And Jrue does such a great job of it, but also the lift from Sam Hauser, the read to give Jrue the passing angle, and of course, you know it's going down when it's Sammy buckets.
And it all kind of starts with Jrue pushing the ball. Again, note the ball crossing half court at 21 seconds. The Cavs just don't have time to get set, get locked in. They run into that action, and the ball's up really before everybody's found their guy. And man, Jrue just, he's like, it looks like Zion, like with his jump, like out, like reaching the vertical peak before Mobley. And then we love getting Sammy clean looks like that.
Game 4, Celtics defending this Mobley to Garland dribble handoff, and oh no, Peyton Pritchard is stuck on Evan Mobley in the post. But wait, there's that guy again, Luke fucking Kornet, scram switch. Right as the pass is being made, he, in somewhat gentlemanly fashion, provides Peyton Pritchard with safe passage out to the corner and forces Mobley into a tough shot.
So this is like the cat and mouse of playoff basketball. So the Cavs get into this Miami action, which is like a series of DHOs here, and we've got Tatum on Mobley all series, so he can switch him onto ball handlers whenever we want. The downside is the guard has to switch on Mobley, but Pritchard, good physicality, and Luke, again, he's just so aware. He understands the game of basketball. He sees, oh no, my mini-me, he's on Mobley. I better get over there and help, and they execute it perfectly. It's so smooth. It's like Mobley doesn't even realize Pritchard left him, and he turns around and is like, oh no, who's this monster guarding me? And forces the miss.
Yeah, I firstly love having the Tatum on Mobley. Like the fact that we can just put Tatum on the opposing team's center and have him switch onto guards in those actions is great. And Pritchard just does just enough straight from the jump when he gets switched on with the physicality. Tatum does just enough to make that pass a little bit more difficult, makes Garland think just a little bit, which gives Kornet and Pritchard enough time to like get on the same page to make that switch. And then Kornet's number one skill, as mentioned earlier, uses his 7'2" to defend this one, and we're off to the races.
Finally, Al Horford, lockdown defense on Darius Garland, one of the quickest, shiftiest, agile guards in the league. There's like minimum 10 examples of this from Game 5, but here's just one. Al Horford has Darius Garland in hell, forces the bad shot, rebound, Al fucking Horford.
Al was so incredibly good on Garland. It's like once he figured out Garland's rhythm, it's almost like when I dance, I have enough beers and I'm finally like, okay, now I understand how to dance a little bit. Yeah, that's like Al was like 3-4 beers deep at this point. He's just feeling it on the dance floor. But shout out to Jaylen Brown, who's just physical with Mobley, doesn't let him get into rebounding position at all, which is like little things you need to win basketball games. And this is a close game. Like an offensive rebound there is killer. So shout out JB.
Yeah, this reminds me of being a kid and trying to beat my 6'4" dad in one-on-one in the driveway. It's like, yeah, maybe he let me win a couple of days before, and then I'm talking all kinds of shit the next couple of days. And the next day we get out to the driveway, it's just got nothing going for me. Yeah, look at Big Al move these puppies, man. Garland's gonna leave this series with a whole new set of appreciation for the greatest Dominican basketball player of all time.